Welcome back to Crypto's Juiciest News, baby dolls. This is the monthly chart of Bitcoin, a nice clean chart. It's at $98,000. If we go down and check what it's been doing, it's just been going sideways here as we continue this 2025 year where we expect big things to happen. But of course, the way markets work is we have to build up into them because people need to feel like they're invincible. And you can't get them to feel invincible immediately. It's a process, okay? Because if something like comes out to basically make you feel too good, you know it's fake. It's basically like someone coming out here and doing a magic trick in front of you. You're like, oh, you're a magician. I know what you're doing. You know what I mean? You know there's a trick out here. But if it slowly happens, okay? So like if you wake up in your day and you just see pink bunnies everywhere and you look outside and the sky is actually green, not blue. You go outside and people aren't driving cars. They're just riding skateboards, for example. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, wait a minute. I'm in a different world. You know what I mean? It takes a process of time, you know? Then you go speak to your friends, and your friends look like Super Mario and Luigi and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, now you're actually, like, tripping balls here. You look walking around the world. You're like, whoa, something actually is, like, different here, right? You know, you drink the water, and it's actually not water. It's just orange Fanta, okay? So all these things, you know what I mean? Like now, that's completely different to like, hey, one guy does the magic trick. Okay, that's actually like in markets, right? That was a zombie virus. When there's like one big shock, the seller comes in, the big seller, which is everyone out here, paper hand dumping. And then, yeah, now we need to build up into like, you know, a complete building up of belief for the rest of the crypto market participants. That's how the market cycles go. If you doubt that happening, I understand. You're like, well, what if it doesn't happen this time? I know, man, we say that every time, but what we've seen is what I've shown you on this highest value content in crypto. Like, subscribe, press the belly button and all. I've shown you many times that you can't stop people noticing green repetitive moves. You can't stop them noticing it, no matter what you do. Tell them to sell, call it a scam, doesn't matter what you do, they will notice. That's what we've seen in crypto. It's too out there, known in the world. So what does that actually really mean? It means basically repetitive green monthly candles in Bitcoin. They attract our companions. That's it. Okay, they do. Just like it happened in September 2023. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everyone comes in, starts going nuts up here. Happened as well 2021. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, but everyone comes in here. Candle 5 and 6. And also this was a green candle, just finished red for April as well in 2021. Okay, so that's pretty much how it all goes, right? You can't stop the combination of belief here. Now, I'm just going to quickly show you the Russell 2000, friends. Remember, the Russell 2000 is the US small cap shitcoins, and it is still scamming. I mean, this piece of crap is still under the all-time high from 2021. So why is it like that? Well, you know, you can get many ideas. It is what it is. Many people believe it's because it's the end of the cycle, like for the business cycle of America. Many people believe that. Like, for example, blockchain backup, where everyone believes it's not actually a bull market. We are doing the final rotation up. So basically, it's going to take a while in this year, and then the Russell 2000 is going to go really fast up. All right, it's going to go really fast up, but then it's literally all over, and there's going to be like a big Great Depression. That's what pretty much everyone expects. That's what a lot of people expect, okay? I don't know if we're going to get that. In the past, it's just been like a normal continuation. But yeah, in the past 3 crypto cycles, it has been just basically, yes, the Russell 2000 is meant to be up by now and just keeps grinding up. And then like you never have, like you do have these periods of poopiness, but not actual complete death and destruction. So I guess we'll see. Some people might also point to the higher interest rate elevation level. But I disagree, okay? The interest rates, friends, they don't impact risk-taking as much as you think. Noobs, when you look at the data, you look at all these, your own view of the world, you think high interest rates mean, oh, people aren't going to take risks. No, that's a load of shit, okay? Are people not taking risks in Turkey? They've got 17% interest rates. They have to put the yield up so high because their currency is so poop. No, interest rates are reactive to people's spending. All right, because right now interest rates are 4 or 5%. They are reacting to the level of inflation in the economy, which is people are spending a lot. It's a hot economy, despite what people believe. Okay, that's the truth. When interest rates are down, okay, it's reacting because the economy's too cool. No one wants to spend. They've got to go like, hey, man, like get rid of it, okay? So a high interest rate, it does not necessarily say, oh, your altcoins must go down because the interest rates are high. No, okay? In fact, I could easily tell you right now, it's likely that we have one of the biggest alt seasons ever in recent times. I mean, compared to maybe rivals 2017. And we had high interest rates, okay? In fact, I mean, you want to laugh? In the 2017 year, remember crypto friends had the biggest alt season here? 2017, look what the interest rates were. They were 2.5%. Look at this number here, the far right column. 2.5%. Isn't that crazy, right? So 2017, they were actually raising rates. Look at this. Actually, throughout 2017, look, we had the biggest alt season ever, and they raised rates to 1.25%. But you got to remember, like, that was big at the time. It went from zero. We went from zero, and they were raising rates. Yes, they were raising rates. Now it's 1%. Now it's 1.25. You see that? Remember, the market had already priced in the hikes. So just because you see these hikes going up here, you don't wait for them to cut. So basically, 2018, December, right, this move of 2% interest rates was already priced into the yield curve here in like 2018 January. There you go, the biggest alt season. So basically the economy, so the US, so crypto, it was, so when you had, let's actually go back and check it out here, just so we know exactly what's going on. So when crypto had the biggest alt season ever, which is 2017 right here, okay, the US yield curve, so the marketplace out there, it was already pricing in 2% interest rates, which was enormous coming off zero back then. Remember, your post-GFC stuff, pretty much. You're still early days recovering from the GFC. So you get to see, right, these thinking about in interest rates, they trick a lot of mid-curvers. In fact, what I've actually noticed is the biggest mid-curvers of all are influencers who get this wrong. But it's okay for them to be wrong. Why? Because they're farming, unfortunately, their audience. They're farming them for, like, they do newsletters, reports, subscription, and they dress things up pretty nice, don't they? But they're making their money off everyone just like reading off them, basically learning off them, but not actually making money to actually navigate these. Because basically, if you use your principle, if you go back to 2017, you're like, oh, we just went from zero rates and now we're pricing in 2% rates. That is an enormous difference. I shouldn't be long crypto in 2017. How wrong were you? You were the most wrong you would ever been in the history of mankind. Up until this point, still to today, the entire crypto market, okay? Your opportunity cost was literally 100 times net worth growth in that year. Literally 100 times from January 2017 to December 2017. All of this can be seen on the others BTC ratio, once again. So I have a quick squiz here for you as well. So remember, this is the ratio of altcoins to BTC, but I want to draw something to your attention, friends. Others started pumping in March of 2017. So that's the whole index. Now, remember, I don't like always doing a copium thing, but yeah, okay, they started pumping in March. Actually, we started pumping on time this time. See, we flipped green on the weekly super trend, but now we've actually stalled here. If you look at my previous charts and stuff out here, friends, I hope this channel continues and we hit, remember this, we're going to look at the blacked out number. Right now, others, so altcoins are about 20% of Bitcoin's market cap, okay? They're about 20%, which is extremely low. They were 50% at the peak of 2021, okay? So we're at 20%. And remember, this is a big move, by the way, because Bitcoin's going to move up too, right? So I would say you're in danger point as soon as we start trading above this high, above 50, okay, you know, where are we going to go? Are we going to go 55, 60, 65, 70? Obviously, you want the higher number. You want the higher number. But that's where the danger point is going to be. I've written this up here. I expect a white swan at the end of this year. I'm going to show you out here. Uncle Bobby's got a $288,000 Bitcoin price. And remember, you don't actually need to know the US dollar. So where's Bitcoin going to stop? It doesn't actually matter. It does not matter. All that matters is the ratio. So from everything in the past, what we've seen, all that matters is like the level of altcoins as a whole industry, its size relative to Bitcoin. That's actually what matters. So put in a nutshell, friends, this is others BTC. Just we're in a log chart. You can see how this yellow, it's a 3-year bear market, 1-year bull. So every time, 3-year bear market, 1-year bull, 3-year bear market, 1-year bull, 3-year bear market. We're now hopefully appearing on the 1-year bull. If you see this as well, we're around 19%. So I hope, man. I know I'm just drawing this line. You just got to be careful about this. Trying to do this. Like I hope this thing just goes. You know what I mean? Like it basically goes up higher. That's about. See, this number's about 70%. I really, really hope we do something like this. Okay, where it hits like 70%. But technically, I mean, like as soon as you go above this, actually, I wanted to show you something that I discovered as well. This is interesting. Okay, you see the 2016 year, friends? The 2016 year, the Bitcoin halving year. So if you draw a fib from the top of the year to the bottom, all right, basically your first Altseason wave, you should be looking at the 1.618 extension. And if you're lucky, you went up to the 2, all right? So you remember that, 1.618. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to 2020, okay, the top of the Bitcoin halving, others BTC, to the bottom of the year, okay? We then went to, again, the 1.618. Okay, but look at this, and then it was all over. So you understand that, okay, we got up to, and we never actually hit the 2, okay, because it was a scam cycle. So if we didn't have a scam cycle, maybe we were meant to actually go up here. Bitcoin was meant to like hit 100K or something, okay, but it was never meant to. We were meant to get some sort of big season, but we didn't. We just got scammed, okay? Now what I'm going to do is you're going to say, Somi, can we please do the others BTC extension from our Bitcoin halving year, from the bottom, top to the bottom? All right, this is where we land. Okay, so firstly, look at this. It's kind of crazy. This plays out. If we get here, I want you to know, this is a dampened poop Altseason wave. If we stop here, which is 38%. See, this is the 1.618. If we go up to the 2, it is exactly 70%. Okay, that's very interesting because remember, let's go back to 2017. We have to hyper focus on this 2017 cycle. This was a Donald Trump cycle, okay? And they were raising rates just like now. It's very, very similar. Isn't it interesting? We have Donald Trump in and they were raising rates. Okay, now we've got Donald Trump in and like they have high rates. Now we've also got high rates and Donald Trump's in. Right, because he runs an inflationary policy. That's why. He wants jobs to come back to America and stuff out here. So that's pretty much why. But it's more complicated than that, but just like I'm summarizing these like weird mystical things out here, friends, okay? Remember, I did the extension from the fib from the top to the bottom of the Bitcoin halving year, the very, very bottom, and then we hit almost the 2, okay? We almost hit the 2 back here. So it's not a guarantee, but you hit between the 1 and the 2, okay? That was where you finish up here, okay? So yeah, that's why where would hitting between the 1 and the 2 hit, look, it's about 50%, you know? If we're lucky, look, I've just be super careful, man. I wouldn't want to rely on 70%. That's like extreme. Like you saw in 2021. I've gone through this so many times with you, right? If you miss the top, like you're like, hey, I'm still bullish for the next 3 months, but you're wrong about it. Okay, your altcoins are down 70%. So, and remember, we're reprogramming our minds where we're down the 3x. That's what we have to do because there is a chance it's going to happen and there's nothing we can do about it, okay? Because you're taking that punt. You're taking that punt. We're going to have a white swan order. What have we done? What have we done? Okay, you're down 3x, then it drops another 2x. Like yeah, that's the reality we've got to deal with. So basically, what would be an expectation here? Well, honestly, you and I, we can't control what happens. We actually can't control it. I'm just showing you like, if like, you never know, man, maybe Altseason wave 1 is here. We have the G correction in the blood moon of March. Well, I'm now in March. And then we just start moving up and we have Altseason wave number 2 by the end of next year. Okay, the end of next year. And finally, you never know, man. It might actually go like this. And then everyone thinks it's over. And then the actual white swan appears. Okay, and so somewhere here between, so I didn't even want to talk about 70%, but maybe, you know, anywhere from 50 to 70%. But technically, if we get back to 50%, this is like, yes, you really, really, really got to get out. You got to be careful, okay? You got to really, really, really be careful. Like I'm talking about up there, you got to be like starting to actually click sell on stuff. And if you punt on stuff, it's just because, oh, people are buying this stuff on Twitter. I'm just throwing my money into this absolute new thing. And I'm like, you actually be like, okay, if you go on side at 2x, or even if in a day or 2 or 3 days, if you're on side like 50%, take out 2/3 of your money. Just get back your money and just leave the other and just see what happens in the next, like, you know, 2 to 3, 5 days or whatever, if it keeps going up. So you got to be more aggressive with your initial taking. That's how fast it'll pretty much get. But people won't do that. Why? Because they're watching everything go up. So people, that's the funny part. Like when you have heaps of FOMO because people are retiring, the crowd has now been trained to basically never click sell because they're like, man, I should have just held. I should have just held all these coins. I shouldn't have cheated and went and bought by the top of Solana trash. So that's actually what happens out here. Okay, so that's what we're actually looking for. Okay, so if we get to 38%, it's going to be controversial. I think a lot of people are going to believe it's over and it's going to come back down, but they're not going to understand others' BTC ratio. They're just going to say, oh, altcoins were meant to go 10. So what would this number be, by the way? This, friends, if we go to here, okay, if we go to 38, remember we're about 20 now. So this distance is about a 2x on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin goes to 150K, the average coin does about 2 times 1.5. It's about 3.5x. So the average altcoin, but you know, some do 5, or very few do 10. But some, you know, probably most of the coins in that others top in the others index, which is everything outside of the top 10, of a big chunk of them, yeah, probably gonna do 3, 4, 5, 6. But you notice that everyone's looking for 10. Well, imagine we stop at like 4-ish. Okay, you can see how everyone's trapped. No one's gonna get out, and I'll tell you when they'll get out. They'll get out on that blood moon. They'll probably get out on the blood moon dump in March or something where something happens, okay? And people, we understand this ratio, and that's probably where I'll have to be coming out saying, look, I know I sound like a retard. Once again, I got a bull mat, but I got a bull hat, mew. Once again, I repeat, mew. But we are not in an expensive zone. In fact, all we've done is retrace back to the 2021 bull market. We have not explored new altcoin prices, okay? Do you think we've made no progress in altcoins in the past 4 years? If you think we've made no progress, obviously you've learned nothing. Okay, absolutely learned nothing. But yeah, that's okay. People will generally think that. Okay, so this is basically, I've given you the blueprint now. But remember, friends, we're looking at this whole box this whole year. Actually, what I'll do is I'll make this box. So this basically all of 2026. So we don't know where we're gonna land this year. Okay, we obviously hope we just literally go freaking straight up only. But there are 2 waves, right? There are wave 1 and wave 2. You never know. Maybe that's wave 1 and then wave 2 comes out here. Okay, that could be it. And you might say, hey, Simon, does that mean a 3-year bear market? Well, by the end of this year, you have to decide that for yourself. Okay, you have to decide, all right, what are the odds that 2026, by the end of 2026 is a bear market? And I want to remind you, man, because I got you the highest value alpha. In 2018, we all know it as the year of the Bitcoin bear market. However, EOS did the largest ICO ever, and EOS minted itself into the index with a lot of other altcoins, and the others BTC went up. So it tricked people. People thought altcoins are still running, but most altcoins were down. They were down 95% because they went up so much. It's not because they're just all trash. They went up 100x, like Cardano, Tron. They all went like literally 100x in like 30 days. Okay. So by the time we got to the mid 2018, they were all down 95%. Easy. Some of them down like 97% already by that point. Okay. So what we learned is it actually happened again in 2022 in our bear market. Luna kept running. Bored Apes kept running. Cult DAO appeared. So a few things appeared, but the overwhelming majority of stuff destroyed. Okay. Now, what's actually the trickiest part of all is, do you see this final flush up? This actually happened in December as well of 2021. Look at this. The January. Why was this thing going up when we're in a freaking bear market? Why was it going up? Well, Bitcoin had slowed down, number one. And number two, the altcoins that were appearing in the index, a lot of them were freshly minted ICO trash. That's what happened. So their market caps get added because they're just brand new, but they can't sustain themselves. But you don't know they can't sustain themselves. They just appear in the index. Okay, so the index is actually moving up. All right, because you obviously know this. What was moving at the end of like January? So you had Luna, USD, you had a few extreme unicorn Ponzi's, and some like new ICO projects appeared. Because what happens, friends, is remember, the most amount of projects appear at the very end. Why? Everyone's got the most money and they've had the most FOMO and they're the most confident. You get it? So that all these projects just finally launch. You know, have projects like, I remember like Near and stuff, they started unlocking their coins, and it basically others, so the index, it starts to get like, higher and valuation. But here's the problem, right? The problem is you can't sell this price, okay? So actually, if you want to actually sell the top, it's here, okay? So this is why it's confusing. You're selling the altcoin top here, okay? Worst case, but you have to watch this thing go up and up and up, and then you think you've actually missed it. You think, oh crap, I sold too early. So the ratio went from 37% up to 50%, okay? So you never know. You know, actually, that's interesting, friends. Look where we peaked. We peaked around 38% of in 2021 peak. Remember that 38%? We know that number as the Fibonacci level when you looked at the fib. I just showed you on that because I remember that number. Others BTC going to 38%. I'm wondering if that'll happen. So if I actually mark it, what we should do is perhaps let's just mark 38%. I've actually marked them right now, friends. You see these orange circles? So I've marked 38%. Where maybe that's how far we go. Remember, from here, we're going from 20% to like it's about, you know, like I said, about a 2x on whatever Bitcoin does, right? So, you know, maybe Bitcoin goes to 150K in the next 3, 4, 5 months ish when in that first Altseason wave. So I've now mapped in your mind exactly. Remember, if you're curious as well. So what's others actually mean? Okay, if you go to the rank 100 coin in crypto. It is 1.4 billion, okay? Now, when I do this, there's always one guy, they never watch the video. They don't understand what the fuck's going on. Bro, just shut up and sit down, okay? So there's always one guy who says, no. There's this one coin that did a 500x. These coins aren't going that much. Dude, okay, yeah, please, friends. I'm not going to bother. I'm literally just going to mute these people. Just straight mute, okay? Because they don't understand, okay? So this is an index, okay? This is an index. So you're talking about one cherry-picked coin. I'm talking about including Tezos, Fartcoin, MakerDAO. Okay, you have Lido. You have LidoDAO. You have Rocket Pool ETH. Even is including these. You have Dog with Hat, Injective, Phantom. Now Pudgy Penguins is in the index. You see Bonk. You see the diversity of these. Now I see Casper's in this. Monero's even in this. Old coins. Okay, BitTensor, Aave, Craptos. ICP, near. Okay, do you see how it's an index? It's pretty much okay. The wider index, it's basically what we call the small, mid, large cap kind of distribution part, the belly of the risk curve that we want. And they have an index for us to nicely chart. And of course, they are the highest returns, but also the highest risk. That's why you got 3 bear market stuff, as you have experienced firsthand now. So, you know, US dollar prices. You and I, we don't actually need to worry about them. So, that's all right, friends. I'm going to go through the rest of the news and stuff now. But, you know, like Bitcoin dominance is also a ratio chart. This is something also we'd watch. But we don't need to worry about, hey, where's Bitcoin going to stop? Where's Ethereum going to stop? Because you can't control it. You can't control it. You're just worried about the ratio. Okay, that's all you're worried about. You're worried about, relative to these prices, wherever they are, how exposed are altcoins? How big of the pie are altcoins versus Bitcoin? And obviously we do Ethereum as well. But if you wanted to say to me, Sami, what is the number we need to get most of our dreams come true? Okay, and I'm talking most of the industry for this Altseason. It's cleanly put, we need others to get to about 2 trillion in size. About 2 trillion. Right now, it is 380 billion, okay? So if others, this is the others USD, by the way, okay? Remember when I was showing you before, I was showing you the ratio. I was showing you altcoins versus Bitcoin, okay? That's what I want to see. I want to see the real language of the market there. This is just US dollar pricing. This is totally guessing, okay? We are totally guessing here in terms of like, well, you know, why 2 trillion? Why doesn't it stop at 1 trillion? I don't know. It could, okay? You don't know, okay? So I've just drawn these 2 waves. This is Blood Moon 1 and Blood Moon 2, just as a joke as well. We're kind of like a joke, friends. You never know. It'd be funny if they kind of play out. But this is others. And remember, we're at 380 billion. From here to the top, if we get to 2 trillion, it's about a 5.5x. To get to 2.5 trillion, it's about a 6x. Now, remember, once again, that's the others index. Okay, so that includes garbage. So if the whole thing is growing by 6 from today, okay, remember, because it's near the highest, friend. So you might say, oh, but my altcoin hasn't pumped. Yeah, but the index has pumped because this includes other things that have started to move up. So we can't do anything about that. So it is random, man. Most of it is random. So the index moves up 6. Hopefully you're on something that has like a nice multiplier on top of that. If you're in the trashier coins, okay, which look, after you saw what XRP did, I can't even call like Litecoin a trashy coin now because it can just whack up to the all-time high in 5 seconds. Like we don't know, okay? But whatever the trashy coins are going to be, and you don't know until the end, right? If the index does 6, your trashy coin is probably going to do around the 6 at some point. It'd be like, you know, the index, like 4, 5, 6-ish, okay? If you got a great coin, you'll do about a 12 from today. 12, yeah, about 9 to 12. So that's everyone wants that 10x, yeah. By the way, remember, that's the big cause. So if you're in PulseChain, by the way, PulseChain might be unique because you might have Richard pumping it, you know? Because look how Richard basically broke the paradigm for 2021 because he waited for Ethereum to top and he smacked it up, okay? So this is showing you this on average what we kind of expect, okay? Natural market demand and stuff out here, okay? But yeah, if the core does 10, then yeah, if you're in an ecosystem, you'll get things that go 30, 40, 50. Okay, that's why even if PulseChain just does a 10x from today, Pika, Pokemon, Tangangs, all these other things, yeah, they can do 20, 30, 40, 50, you know, so these numbers can be big. Remember, I'm starting from today. So I'm not like, there's things like, you know, the alien coin, everything, they've done amazing stuff, PDI, and yeah, obviously PDI still got, obviously another unique case, but like all these other coins out here that are like meme coins and within the altcoin ecosystem as well in PulseChain, ones that have done very well in 2024, yeah, like like you're gonna, like if you're already up 1000x, yeah, if you do another 10, you'll be up 10,000x from today. But if I just say the number 10, like don't be confused. You're like, oh, you're only gonna do a 10x, but you know what I mean? So it's you get a full scope of what's going on here. And I've just drawn these as like 2 Altseason waves out here. You don't know the exact pattern, but yeah, but remember the key to everything is that ratio. That's actually it. If you look at everything, the key to everything is out here. And the ultimate dimension you got to watch for is time. That's another thing out here. Okay, so we're in the 3rd crypto year that goes up. If it finishes green, you don't want to be long next year because you're like, man, we've had 3 green years in a row. You know, well, you can be long. I'm just telling you, okay, just give yourself a probability that you are incorrect and that 2026 finishes red, or with 8 red monthly candles. So now I've gone through a lot of the scope as well, friends. Some from news of the day. So data has been released as well showing crypto exchanges from 2nd and 3rd world countries are always getting hacked and exploited. So look at all these big exchanges. So DMM, Bitcoin, I think this was Japanese actually. PlayDApp, I think this was an Indian exchange. WazirX, another Indian exchange. BTC Turk from Turkey. Munchables, I don't know, Radiant Capital, BingX. So just be careful, friends. If you're from a 2nd or 3rd world country, just know that the employees on your exchanges are easily bribed. Yes, they're easily bribed, you know, because what, like 30 grand's a lot of money to them. They're like, yeah, I'll do a $300 million heist for 30 grand. You know, that's another thing as well. But like if you're from a 1st world country, like, you know, like Brian Boldstrong is not going to take 30 grand to put himself in jail for 55 years. You know what I mean? Like, he's not going to do that. He's already got $1 billion. So I'm not saying go trust Coinbase either. Just telling you, if you're in a 2nd or 3rd world country on those exchanges, be extremely careful because it's easier to bribe them. They can get away with a lot of stuff. You got to assume the worst, man. Crypto. Once they got your money, you're not getting it back. Okay, so do practice self-custody. It is the way. And by the way, you only got 1 year left anyway, so you don't have to wait too long. And also other juicy news. So Uncle Bobby, friends, who is our favorite uncle, making a mean gyros and souvlaki. Uncle Bobby released his target, $288,000 Bitcoin, October, November. Okay, that exactly matches its symmetry with the 4-year cycle. So I think I remember it's like 1,064 days from the low. So if you go to the low in the past 2 bear markets, you go in 2014 and 2018 and 2022, I think. So if you go 1,064 days forward, you hit the top. I remember doing that, so I'll just show you quickly. This was the previous cycle, right? This is 2018. You go 2018, 1,064 days here, and then you literally hit the exact top. And then you have November 2021. What I'll do is now I'll show you this 1,064 day symmetry as well. I believe, I think this was the exact low. If you go 1,064 days, there you go. 1,000, like it's exactly 1,064. Okay, there you go. From right here. 1,064 days. That is absolutely wild, isn't it? 1,064 days, you hit the top. And then I think as well, now if you go back to 2013, friends, if you do 1,064 days to the left of this, okay, you go into this basically this period here. But okay, so here's the thing, you actually start like here. You're like, wait, that's not the exact low. Yeah, but we had a weird beginning with the start in terms of the cycles. We didn't have like a full cycle done at the start because Bitcoin was released after its Bitcoin halving. So yeah, it wasn't released exactly. So we have to start from somewhere. But if you can imagine, if there was like a normal cycle like what happened before, you are basically bottoming out about 1.5 years before that Bitcoin halving. Okay, so it's happened twice before, and it happened in a Donald Trump cycle with raised interest rates. So if you're curious as well, that's why, where does 1,064 days land us? It literally lands us, go forward, there you go. It literally lands us 6th of October this year. 6th of October. Now, remember, you learned from 2024 with me that, see, Bitcoin, friends, it topped in March, but then it made a literal, look at this, it topped in March and it made a lower high in April, come back down, lower high again. So you gotta understand, like, it goes from 73 and then a month later hits 72. And now by June, it's still 71. It peaks at 71. But the top was actually here. So this is something to think about, right? So 3 months later, it's still around the same zone. So what that could mean is, just so you expected stuff, right? So you expected it. We go wherever we go. Hopefully we do hit his $288,000 BTC. Let's say it actually peaks, wherever it peaks, in actual 6th of October. It peaks here. So it goes up. So what you might find is, then in November, it goes to like 270,000. Comes back down to like, 180. And then like January, it comes back up to like 230. Maybe there's like a final Altseason wave where it's somewhere here, Altseason wave 1. But you're looking at it and you're like, because you're looking at this, you're like, man, I don't see the bear market yet. You just see this big move. But what you're basically assuming, like every other cycle, is by the end of 2026, by the end of this point, okay, this period will have, okay, a downtrend. Maybe it goes down, I'm just guessing, 70%, which would be down here somewhere. Okay, it'll actually like nick down, back down to 90K. Remember, this is the pit stop. Maybe it nicks back down here. And this is 8 red monthly candles, which is what happened in the past 2 cycles, okay? So you had 8 red monthly candles, and that was pretty much that. Like, that's what you got to wait for before you start DCA buying in again. So I just showed you, right? So because this is what might trap people, friends. Bitcoin hits 288, whatever it is. Let's say it hit 300. Hope it hits 300, okay? Because if it hits 300, people will be like, oh, we're never going below 100 again. They'll say that, yeah. If you can trade a 3, they're like, oh, Bitcoin hit 300. We'll never go below 100 ever again. But at this point, if it moves like this, it can like trap so many people, man. Because if they're friends, think about it. If everyone thinks it's gonna go down from here, huge, but it doesn't, and it's like going sideways downwards like this, and it's still like, by April of the next year, it's still 220K. People probably be arguing. They'll go, it's not a bear market. Okay, Bitcoin's still $220,000. How could it be a bear market? They'll probably refer to previous cycles. And I say, well, in previous cycles, Bitcoin was already down like 70% by this point. And this is what you and I want. And hopefully we have a Tasty Tubes white swan that appears up here as well. But what I'm basically doing is I'm imagining in my mind higher prices. I'm imagining narratives that take us higher, which trap people, which basically make them refuse to click the sell button and exit. That's why, Uncle Bobby, it's great. He's got a $280,000 BTC price cycle. Also got to remind you as well, he had 180,000 last cycle. He had to sell at 40. He sold like 42K or whatever because it stopped. We all got scammed. You see what I mean? So, but that was last cycle. It was a robbery cycle pretty much. Yeah, they robbed Donald Trump of the Altseason, of presidential victory. We got robbed. Soy Bankman-Fried robbed us. It was just straight. Everything was basically just a scam everywhere. So, be expecting that. Be expecting that Altseason wave. I don't think it'll be as like pointy. It might be like around the distribution area. It might take a few months, like we saw in 2024, right? like this March, April, May. Things technically top on the chart, but they like fade off slowly. So you don't know that it's actually over, okay? So that's why the only way to actually make it is like technically you just got to be selling at any point. Like you just got to be cold about it. Or you just go like, I'm just taking profit here and there. But also maybe you got to think, maybe by December this year, remember I'll be telling you, hey, forget how on side or off side you think you are in your portfolio. The market doesn't care, okay? What you got to prepare for is in 2026, how many red monthly candles are we going to have in 2026 when we finish the year? Okay. In 3 out of 3 times, we had 8. 8 red monthly candles. I'll tell you right now, that's a 95% wipeout in every altcoin. 95%. They're all dead. Okay. 8 red monthly candles. Okay. So you have to assess the odds of that. If it's happened 3 out of 3 times, yeah, maybe you think it's an extended cycle. Maybe you do. Okay. But how sure are you? 30% sure or 70% sure? What I'm doing is, let's say you think it's, Simon, it might be coin flip 50-50. Okay, you basically told me by the end of January 2026, you should have 50% stable coins. You don't even think. Like, maybe by January, because there was an Altseason in 2018, all right? January, that's why it would suck if you like sold too early and then everything exploded January 2018, which is scary as well. If you sell too early and that happens, Altseason wave 2. But by the end of January next year, yeah, you should literally go to your whole portfolio. You go, that's it, man. 50% stable coins, 50% in your altcoins. If it continues up, sweet. You got the massive explosion to get out anyway. Okay, but how much longer would it have anyway? You know you want to exit, right? So that's how we would play it. Now, obviously, everyone wants to know next. When moon? Well, with this timing and the 4-year cycle stuff, if we go back to Ethereum in 2017, it might give us a clue when it started moving, friends. And Ethereum in 2017 is right here. It was actually only starting to pump really big in Feb. Okay. So look, it started going up as soon as January ticked over. Okay. Yes, it did. It just started going up, but you don't feel like this is up. In fact, just let me be a bit less racist here. This is a weekly candle. So green, you don't actually feel amazing. Okay. You don't feel amazing until Feb hits. Okay. So that's point number 1. Okay. So February started moving in 2017. Okay. Now let's check what Ethereum, because remember, Ethereum, friends, is the mother of all altcoins. I've shown you from the others ETH ratio. Very important to know that. Okay. What about, when did Ethereum break its all-time high in the 2021 cycle? It actually broke it in end of January. Okay, so by Feb it was clearing it. Okay, by February it was clearing it. But once again, so this is, I know it just started moving up in January. Okay, that's something to think about. But it cleared the all-time high, you know, by Feb as well. So you have, there's 2 data points. Now you have one definitive mid-Feb. One was a definitive mid-January. Okay, now I know it's January 5 right now. It is. Okay, so that's where we are right now. We are in the 5-number day of January. And the 5-number day, I know it's really, really close to where like you're expecting, like, if you just draw, like, where is 10th of March? It's actually right here. So yeah, that's what we're hopefully expecting. We're hopefully just expecting green, 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 like that. And I know it's just literally up only. It's literally up only to go this. Actually, if we go down on a daily, this is where March is. So hopefully by March, we've cleared this very racist, shitty price of 4,800 for Ethereum. Actually, if you look at it, man, it looks like it's ready to go. It literally looks like it's ready to do this and then screw us around and just start moving up like that. And just, okay, but so there you go. We are in the up only. I'm still expecting, yeah, maybe be some flash pump, friends. Maybe the flash pump just starts happening now. Plus 40% move. You only know that. So that's what's actually happening right now. Coinciding with where we are now, we are expecting a random altcoin unicorn to appear out there in crypto universe. I don't know what it's going to be. I hope it's PDI. That's hope, but because it's so unique as a narrative, it fits the picture. It really does fit the picture. I hope it's PDI, but you're looking at it, everything's getting destroyed right now on PulseChain. It could be Fartcoin because, like, you know, they got a funny meme, hot air rises, and it's actually got a lot of boomers talking about it and stuff. Because we're like, hey, boomers, please notice my DeFi stuff out here. Boomers don't care. They're like, hey, Fartcoin. Because they look at crypto as a total casino Ponzi. If they believed in crypto, they would have been in from years ago. They don't believe in crypto. They're here for the casino part, okay? So that's what we're looking for. Don't try to punt on it. You just have to accept, that everything is just going to play out however it plays out. Okay, friends, I've got plenty more videos coming for you. Like, subscribe, press the belly button and all. Catch you soon.